Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball Card Breaks. Today we have another edition of Time Travel Tuesday, where today we will be opening a bunch of packs from these 1991-92 Topps Stadium Club hockey cards. And I picked up two boxes of these cards on Mercari for a total of $16. I couldn't pass it up. I love the way these cards look. Of course, there's not a lot of value to these. There's really no good rookie cards in these boxes, but there are some, great Hall of Famers in here. We've got Brett Hull. We've got the great one. We got Mark Messier. A bunch of great hockey players from my Red Wings, like Steve Yzerman. And Nick Lidstrom's in here. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to open up like one stack of cards today. And we'll break them up over, maybe a couple, weeks of Time Travel Tuesday cards. And because these are glossy and they're so old, I think there's probably going to be some bricking here. But, we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to just give them a little bendy here. This is like my favorite era of hockey. And so even though these don't have any real value, there's a bunch of cards I want to have for my, my personal collection. Like I mentioned, the Detroit Red Wings cards. This period really with the Sega Genesis and the NHL 91. That's probably my favorite hockey game of all time. I've spent a lot of hours playing the. I'm also want to stop the video right now and then just go order some hockey cards or hockey cards, a Sega Genesis on eBay and start playing right now. It's just so much fun. Let's take a look here and see. Hopefully this won't have too much bricking. We're going to start it off with Bobby Smith of the North Stars. This was, I believe this was the first year of the San Jose Sharks, so there might be some Sharks in here. I don't even remember who Bobby Smith is. These cards are pretty sweet as we take a look here at Marty McSorley, the tough guy that went with Gretzky to the Kings from the Edmonton Oilers. On the back, there is the rookie card of the player shown, the Topps rookie card, and then you can see all the different information on the back. Some cards have these sporting news, scouting reports. Not all of them do. And then, of course, you see their stats down below from the 1991 season. So, Marty McSorley, other than that one incident where he whacked some guy, he's, was one of the great players of that era. Scott Stevens, awesome player. Here he is on the Blues. He had his own personal issues as well, as we're already struggling with these. Oh, there we go. There's Hall of Famer Brett Hull, sharpshooter. His little dings in the corner here. That's not great. But, again, we're not talking about value here. We're just talking about, taking a walk through history down memory lane here. I love the way the logo looks like a hockey rink. That's pretty cool. And so there's Brett Hull, on the Red Wings in his waning years. Clint Malarchuk, best known for getting his jugular cut on the ice and almost dying. A brutal vision. I can't recommend looking that up. Ken Denerco, that's right. Tough guy back in the day. And what is this? I don't think I've ever seen these before. You don't even know where to find the best hockey coverage. Oh, yeah, it's on the back of this card. These are pretty cool. I don't actually remember these from back in the day. But it's like sporting news. Okay, then we have Darren Pupa, goaltender at the time for the Sabres. We have Mike Ridley for the Caps. It's kind of annoying that they don't have the team name on the front. Here's Paul Sear, and I think he was on the I believe that's the Whalers jersey. Only because I actually had that style of jersey one time. Yeah, it's the Whale. And then we have Jacques Cloutier. And another Whale, Terry Yake. The Whale at this time were not a great team. And we're going to finish up the first pack with Andre Arasio, who was a rookie this year. I did look up the rookie cards for this period, for this season, and there's no one of note. I mean, Brian Marchment was in there, Corey Millen, and Alexei Gusarov for the Quebec Nordiques. But I mean, otherwise, there really wasn't anyone of note. So, I mean, we don't really have to be on the lookout for those because they really don't, they're really not that fascinating. Here is Gino Cavallini. I mean, if you didn't know, I mean, without the team on the front, I mean, how would you know if it was the Blues guy or the Rangers guy? You probably wouldn't. Charlie Huddy, fantastic mustache. What does this say? Now with the Kings. So again, another Edmonton Oiler going over to play with the great one. Here is Phil Bourque. I would imagine related to Ray Bourque. I don't know. One of the three checklists, the first of the three, just numerically. And Jay Miller. We have... There's 400 cards in this set. So with the two boxes, we probably could put together one whole... here's Eddie the Eagle, Belfort. So he was the Rookie of the Year this previous season. If we could just get it to focus. Yeah, he was the Rookie of the Year the previous season. This season that... we have here was Pavel Bure, is Ron Francis, Hall of Famer. We've got Dave Manson, tough guy. We have Claude Lemieux. We hate Claude Lemieux as a Red Wings fan. Of course, he crushed Draper's face into the board, and then McCarty came back. I was at that game. One of the few Red Wings games I ever went to. Just happened to be lucky that I bought that ticket. I believe that was March 27th of 1997, Dave Hannon. And I actually bought the two sets of tickets at in Ann Arbor, Michigan, at a card shop. One happened to be that game against the Colorado Avalanche, and the other happened to be a game that turned out to be Mario Lemieux's last game before he retired because of his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And then he went up to the to be the GM, and then eventually came back and played for a little while longer. Doug Wilson, grandfathered in without the helmet on. Why is it having so much trouble focusing? Now with the Sharks. So this would have been the year that the Sharks started. Probably don't have any cards of their own. Brian Leach, great Olympian for the USA hockey team. And then we have here Jamie O'Cown. He played for the Wings at one point. Tony Tonti, never heard of that guy. We have a horizontal card here of Mark Pedersen. And they are a little bit stuck together. It's Gary Lehman for the Maple Leafs. And we have Keith Primo. This might have been his rookie year as well. Yep, sure was. Keith Primo. Detroit Red Wings. Good player. Important to our many Stanley Cup runs. Don Beaupre, goaltender for the Caps. Ulf Samuelsson. And we have here, for my Whale, let's get the focus, Dean Evison. Yeah, the Whalers were my second favorite team, mostly because of I love their jerseys. Is Paul Broughton and another Whaler, Daryl Rio, and my favorite non-Red Wing player played for them, which was Jeff Sanderson, and so I followed the Whale pretty closely, and I've already told my Whalers jersey story. It's probably, if you follow my channel, it's probably boring to hear the same stories over and over again. But I did go to after the Whalers had moved, as Mikko Makala had moved to Carolina. I went to Boston for St. Patrick's Day once, and Lee Norwood, before he became a Red Wing. And I bought a authentic Whalers jersey at the Fleet Center, which was the first season that Fleet Center existed before it became New Boston Garden. I think they changed the name at some point, Sergio Momesso. And so I bought a brand new authentic Whaler jersey. They were kind of on closeout, but I think I still paid $180, which was a lot of money for me at the time. This would have been probably 98. It's Jim McKenzie. Someone could probably tell me out there when the Fleet Center, the first year that was open. And here's another Eddie the Eagle Belfours. We got two Belfours already. And Ron Francis. So we're seeing a similar collation, and you can see how it's already starting to flake a little bit there. It's Dave Manson once again. And anyway, the day that I bought that jersey, I went to a Boston Celtics game against the Denver Nuggets, in which the Celtics won on a last-second full court tip-in. And I was right underneath the basket for that game. And before the game started, Dan Patrick from Sports Center fame, The Big Show, him and Keith Olbermann, he was at the game. And he walked up the aisle, and I don't think anybody recognized him. He walked right past me, and I yelled, "Dan!" right almost into his face. And he turned to me. He saw that I had my Whaler jersey on that I just bought. And he goes, "The Whale, huh?" And I go, "Yeah." and I didn't know what else to say. I was a little bit starstruck. And he was like, "Okay." He just kept walking up the aisle. So I felt like kind of a tool, but, what are you going to do? He's a great Russian player, Mikhail Taternov. There we go. Spit it out. Great hockey hair. I had awesome hockey hair back then, back in my old college days. This Glenn Anderson. Now I'm bald, though, so... I'm being punished for my hair sins from the late 80s. What do we got here? We have, that's Burry. I just want that. Robert Cron. Boo. Then we have Kevin Lowe. Pretty good hockey player there. And John Tucker for the Isle. And we're going to finish up this pack with Troy Murray. We've got like 4 more packs to go. I'd love to pull a Gretzky just to have one here in this first set. But I'm going to keep probably pulling these packs every Tuesday for the next couple of weeks. So you can tune in, like, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'm enjoying the playoffs so far. I really, I don't have a rooting interest. Except for maybe the Golden Knights. I've told this story before too, but I was living in Vegas right before they had their inaugural year, and I bought season tickets, and then I ended up having to move to Houston, which was a total bummer. But there's Teo Fleury. But they ended up giving me back my refund, and I got to keep my hat, which was nice. So I still have that. And so I follow them, Ed Olchuk. And Igor Larionov, part of the Russian Five, but right before he came over to the Red Wings. And Tony Herkak. He was I don't like using the term goon. I mean, that's just a terrible name, but even though they named a movie with Sean William Scott, Murray Barron, but he was, he was one of those guys back then that would always protect the score. There's Michel Petit, and we have Brad McCrimmon, a defensive defenseman. He played on the same line as Nicholas Lidstrom. They were in the same part of the same defensive line. There's now with the North Stars, Rob Ramage. That's a great hockey name. Oops, who we drop here? Sorry, I don't know why it's struggling so much with the focus. It's Mark Messier. Look at that, he had hair. He was the MVP in the next year. It was this year or the next year? I can't remember. Let's look at his stats. This is his career numbers. So, no, there it is right there, 53. So this would have been the year before he went to the Rangers, right? And then he was the MVP at that point. John Cullen wearing his All-Star jersey. Nice. And we got a couple more packs to go here. Okay, come on. Yeah, these packs, this actually arrived today. And so these are actually still a little bit warm from sitting in the 100-degree heat here in Tucson. As we see with James Patrick on the back. James Patrick, solid scorer. There's Guy Carbonneau. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Gosh, I can't remember. I want to say he is. He put up a ton of numbers. We got another card stuck here. Dave Poulin and Rick Walmsley, goalie for the Flames. Chris Dahlquist. We're going to flip for Everett Sonopaz. I barely remember him. I love these old Quebec Nordiques jerseys. Classic. What is it? WHL. Here's James Patrick. And another one of these Sporting News. I used to get the Sporting News back in the day. Back when it was would come like as a newspaper. Dale Hunter. And that was the only way, before the internet, that was the only way that you could get your scorers. You could probably get them you get like your Red Wings, my Red Wings players in my local news, Detroit news, but you'd have to go to the Sporting News in order to get your leaders and stuff. It's crazy to think about. Is Murray Craven and Teo Fleury once again. All right, 2 more packs to go for today, and then we will call it a night. I opened up a bunch of Series 2 Upper Deck hockey last week, a bunch of fat packs. You should check that out if you haven't. Some pretty good stuff in there. I'm really pleased. I got one of the best Young Guns in Series 2 is Tony Tanti. We're seeing some of the same collation here as we get Mark Pedersen once again. And we see another Gary Lehman. And let's flip. There's Uwe Krupp and John McLean, great scorer. And Dave Christian, now with the Blues. Free agency back then and trading was insane. František Musel. I don't know what, when I do that, I don't know what language I'm impersonating. It sort of sounds French, but also maybe Irish. Teppo Numminen. Hello, Numminen. And we have Peter Ing, awesome last name. He couldn't afford to get the prefix. You can only get the suffix. That's how you know you're poor, if you can't afford the prefix. That'd be like my last name being Son. My last name is Jackson. There's Stefan Matteau. I remember him when he went to the Sharks. Does it say Sharks? No. I was wondering if he was now with the Sharks. Ron Tugnut And we're going to take a look at the final pack here. We'll wrap it up. Once again, I appreciate everyone following along as I struggle with this final pack. There we go. Yeah, we're not going to grade anything in this pack. We have Eddie Olczyk and Igor once again. And Tony Herkak. Bob Asenza, great goaltender from Detroit, I believe, right? Nope, Toronto. Sorry, I thought he was from Detroit. Corey Millen. And we got down to our last few cards. Hey, Johan Garpenloff. He was on the Sharks. I believe we lost him in the expansion draft. Dino Ciccarelli, great Detroit Red Wing. That guy was tough in front of the net. He could knock you right in the chops. Benoit Hogue. We have Mike Keane. And we're going to wrap it up with Fredrik Olsson. And I guess we got one more as I drop Olsson. And this is Robert Reichel. Not focusing. Very cool. Autographing a stick there. Very cool. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much. We're going to come back next Tuesday for Time Travel Tuesday, do another stack of these cards. So until then, everyone, have a great night.